All right, so Lo, tell me what you just found out about it.
All right, man. So check this out, right? You know how this whole Ukraine thing and Russia's going, right, with this Wagner group, right? Or Wagner group, as they call it, right?
Right,
All right. So if you don't know out there in listening land or video land, whatever, you know what I mean? There was a quote unquote coup that occurred in Russia over the weekend, right? And it was like a 2 day, you know, whatever you want to
two
call
day
it.
cry. Right,
Yeah, 2 day, you know, insurrection. You know what I'm talking about? So a real one. But
right.
so they sat back and supposedly this the leader of the Wagner group, this guy named Pris man, I can't even say his name, man. Prisglova, something like that, right? So this dude, he was getting salty that the wait, okay, hold on.
Vividgy, Vivengy Prizgin or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Something like the dude that starts with the P, right? So he's I guess his grief was that uh Russia wasn't Russian troops weren't doing their job. Now the funny part about this is that this Wagner group, right? They some call them mercenaries and others call them a
A
like a
militia.
like a private security firm.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
they
kind
call
of
themselves a private security firm.
well see that's the thing. They kind of supposedly they kind of float on the they teeter totter between the two. You know what I mean? And the thing is they operate in
In
how to
Africa.
say what they no, that's the crazy part. And see, this is where I was gonna go with the whole tinfoil hat deal, right?
All
So
right.
okay, so check this out, right? First off, we already know who's linked up with Russia, China, right?
Do you, thank you.
Right. Okay, so you got Russia built in with China, right? Now, if you look at the previous spots where they went to, right? All right. Now, China has the Belt and Road Initiative, right? All right. And it's mostly in Africa and the Middle East, right? But they also
Right.
got pieces of South America. Now, I don't know if you can see this, right? Nah, you ain't gonna be able to see this.
But the map,
Yeah, the map. But the map, they got Venezuela, which you already know, hammer and sickle country. You know what I'm saying? Chinese red country. You know what I mean? Then you got Mali, Libya, Sudan, Car, Mozambique, Madagascar, Ukraine, and Syria. You know
all
what I
right.
mean?
So I put the
Now,
back check in case you need to send me whatever links you need to send me. So we good on that. Um,
so it's nuts because if you look at it like this, right? It's almost like two different parts. How to say it? All right, so basically the communists are making the move by themselves, or the communists are. Wait, hold on. Let's start this over. The communists are making a move in conjunction with each other. You know what I
brick.
mean?
No, let's
China,
say it right.
China.
The BRICS nations are moving. BRICS on the move.
Oh yeah,
The BRICS
exactly.
nations are moving. We're not even gonna go with the communist part. It is what it is. The BRICS nations are on the move.
The BRICS nations are on the move, and they're using this like they used what's his name, Blackwater. Remember Blackwater when they were talking about that in Iraq
Yeah,
and
when
shit?
Donald Rumsfeld came up and yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you're talking
yeah. That's the BRICS version of Blackwater, bro. I really believe that shit. You know, and then you figure like this: if these mercenaries, it's either one or two things on this weekend's deal, man. Either one, Putin said, "All right, we're going to try to find the dissidents," right? So then, once they hear that there's a coup, dissidents jump on board. First ones to jump up get their heads cut off. You feel me?
That's the official spending trying to put on it now.
But there's also that double cross, the back door, to where the United States might have tried to throw some black money at them. You know what I'm saying? Some what do they call it? Some of that money that ends up missing at the Pentagon.
Right,
You
the
know what
hush
I'm talking
money.
about? Yeah,
Here's the
yeah,
thing with
yeah,
that, bro. Here's the thing with that. The Mongol, not the Mongols, the barbarians at the door, right? When Rome got too big to police with Roman soldiers, they started hiring barbarians as outside forces, and then the barbarians were the ones that turned on Rome when Rome became too gay and they
yeah.
couldn't defend themselves.
Yeah, yeah,
And
same
that's what
shit with like, I mean, look, man, you could even say that with like the Templars, bro. You know what I'm saying? It always happens. You know, you want to start sending mercenaries, use mercenaries. Well, eventually, man, it happens in Mexico,
because
bro.
they only loyal to the money, right?
Bro, it happens in Mexico, man.
With the cartels, right?
A lot of the Zetas used to be fucking military men. You know, except these dudes are ex-penitentiary dudes that were told if you can get out the joint if you serve in this military
Here,
in this
and
group.
you know what I thought about that when I first heard that? That's not the first time I heard that, and I could play the clip. But you know what I thought about when they said that?
What's up?
Tap them.
dude, dude, technically, like I said, they're rolling like they call themselves a private security team, man. You know what I mean? But now imagine a private security team that can actually make moves to where the president, instead of just trying to crush them, because they were already salty, because they said that they were getting hit with friendly fire. Supposedly, the Russians said it was friendly fire, and but they were pissed off because their people were getting hit.
All
Right.
right, let's break this down because I know that you know what you're saying, and I know what you're saying. Um,
Well, the grievances. Okay, so the grievances that Prigozhin had was simple, right? One, they didn't want they didn't want they were tired of the Russians losing. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Basically, they were like these
They said
dudes
they
ain't
got lied to about the status of what Russia was doing in the war. How many military? All right, let's
yeah.
check it out. Let me fast forward a little bit
All right, all right.
when they start talking about it. This 4 minutes. I'm not sure what part that Wagner come in and start talking. Hey yo, but you heard Biden cop that plea though. Like we ain't got nothing to do with it, bro. We ain't got nothing to do with it.
Of course. What else is he supposed to do? He also didn't talk about the 5 mil. you know.
All right, we gonna run it from the beginning because I don't know where it's at. So let's go. I want to show you something. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how America protests against their government, and I have a couple of clips. All right.
Okay, cool.
This is New York City's protest, but I want to get to the DC protest. I mean, damn, what wasn't DC? It was the state capitol. I'm gonna find out what the state capitol was in a minute. Um, but this is the New York protest against um against the government, against the New York City municipality.
And we're coming for your children.
We're here. We're good. This is how Americans protest their government. Um, I want to show you another one. I want to show you another one. Let me find the one I was actually looking for. You know what I'm gonna do? Hmm. So, because I know the person that posted it, but I don't. Is this it? Okay, that's one as well, but that's not one. So here we go. This is the protest at the Florida state capitol. They want to overturn the racial policies that black people can't come to Miami, plus the stand your ground laws. Okay,
When did they make their law?
but the stand spring break,
You're talking about the spring break shit. Okay,
right?
okay,
And they also want to protest the stand your ground. They think it's racist. Okay,
okay. Protecting
so
yourself is racist. I got you.
okay, so let us look at how America protests on their state capitals. That's all I'm doing. Just showing you state capitals, right?
Okay.
Um, I'm
I think
sure
they.
that
I think they would run away from a war zone.
well, I'm sure that who's the governor, DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's shaking in his boots, bro. I'm sure he's terrified of what's going on. I'm sure he's terrified. I'm scared. You're not scared?
You know what, man? I can't take nobody looking like Rainbow Bright seriously, bro. You know what, man? It just, I respect you, but if you're wearing Rainbow Bright garb, ah, you know what I mean?
Now they didn't move to Moscow, so I don't have to show you how Americans protested at the White House, with their cosplay and you know their
Well, I
parties.
mean, we got to remember, man. There was two protests at the White House. There was the 529 insurrection, which nobody talks about, where they burnt down a church and made the president go into a bunker. And then, of course, you have that that deadly January day where
January 6th, right?
yeah, where one of the protesters got shot. You know what I mean?
Right. So I just want to say that the Wagner Group are better protesters than Americans. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, that's because it's a bunch of dudes with guns, baby. That's why That's why Joe Biden wants them gone. That's why Pritzker wants them gone. Shout out to Papin.
So okay, so back to the Wagner Group. What's your feeling on it? Because here's my understanding. My understanding is what they said, right? Re- Regardless of the fluff, I'm just going with the official because I've heard a few reports. I'm just going off the official report that the Wagner Group just wanted attention because they felt like they weren't being heard and they didn't want to be absorbed into the army as like a Navy SEAL type of group, like a Green Beret type of group. They just wanted to be their own independent group.
Mm-hmm.
That's the official story. Um, Putin decided that he would kiss and make up with the tribal warlord, and they both said that it was a secret plot to see who were the
Dissidents.
dissidents. Thank you, the dissidents, so they could arrest those people. But you guys with the guns, you're good. Go back to Africa, lock it down.
No. They didn't go to Africa, my friend. No. They went to Belarus. Okay. Now, Belarus is real important because Belarus opens up the door for the rest of Eastern Europe and it hovers over fucking Ukraine. What I think is they're gonna put all the motherfuckers in Belarus and then they're gonna make a move. I'm telling you. If he's letting them slide, he's gonna let them ride, bro.
And they're gonna have to ride for him to let them slide.
Bingo. Bingo. So I can see that being the next move on the chessboard, bro.
Very possibly, bro. Very possibly.
But yeah, man. I mean, dude's crazy, man. Dude that started up that shit, man. You know, he's fucking. He ain't even ex-military, bro. He's a motherfucking chef that came up under the oligarch. You know, came up, became an oligarch, man. You know what I'm saying? And just started running shit, man. So he's, you know what I'm saying? He's not somebody who's classically, quote unquote, classically trained, man. So that in itself, man. You can't, trying to. That's like basically he's a street dude.
Right. He did 8 tours of Chirac and then was like, yo, let me grab all the guys. We're gonna do our own thing.
Hell yeah, bro. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, man. Because this shit, man, to see that shit happen, it's either one, these motherfuckers are really, on a sinking ship, or two, he knows who his riders are, man, and he's about to unleash some shit, bro.
Well, if it's one, because I heard that the original report said that Russia had 2 million soldiers going into Ukraine. Then there was a different report a couple of months later said it was just 250,000. So it could be. I mean, Russia has hella people. So, but it could just be that they didn't send a large enough force to suppress. It could be he just a router. It could be.
Dude, he claims that they're the most elite force in Russia, bro. You know what I mean? Think about it. If your most elite fucking force is
It's
a
a bunch
group
of convicts with
and
no military training, just
mercenaries,
balls.
dude, dude, and your trained people are like, nah, I ain't fucking with them. You know what I mean? I'm not saying our military can't fuck with them. I'm saying, it looks like a ragtag group of soldiers on the other side, and these dudes are the ones that are gonna be they're pretty much gonna be cannon fodder while these dudes handle business.
Okay, here's a flip side to that. Um, History is flooded with examples of guerrilla units that take down armies. Cuba, um, the Germanic people against Rome,
Central
uh,
America.
America, a bunch of farmers that call themselves rebels going against the British army.
Yeah, yeah. It happens. You know what I mean? But see, that's what sticks out the most right now is that it came out into the public. You know what I mean? That's why I don't think it's a break. I think it's more of a flank. Show them the art of war and shit, man. Let them think you're weak.
I could see it because the report coming from China was that's an internal domestic affair. We still support Russia. You know, they still are our trade partner. We still support them. We ain't in it. Basically, that's what China said. Our name Bennett. We ain't in it.
Man, in that regard, man, I think the United States or NATO try to put up bread and say, hey, you know what, can you change this? And then China put up the bread and said, you want to play on the winning team. Because Russia don't got the bread like that, but China does. And like I said, with that whole Belt and Road Initiative, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna need a group of people to go out there and handle business for whatever uh, what do they call it? Any type of skirmishes that happen. You know what I mean? Anything that they want to do on some like black ops shit. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep them people in good graces. You know what I mean? So they're gonna keep greasing the wheels, man. I really think that, man. I think they're putting bread in them people, man. You know what I mean? They again, if what I think happened, we tried to pay somebody off and somebody gave him a bigger bag, bro.
Okay, so unfortunately, I just lost the second clip. But they were talking about there was a guy from Russia saying the Americans can't keep sanctioning Russia the way they are to the point that people are having problems getting meat and bread and not think that there won't be uprisings and people ready to attack. So, with that being said, that either means that they are being sanctioned so hard that the people are willing, because you just said that Russia couldn't pay them like that, and there was a there was they didn't say that, but there was an interview a Russian journalist that was kind of like, yo, you sanctioning the hell out of us, so kind of like, co-signs what you said, but I lost it, but I could see it. So now you have to wonder, yo, because we're not talking about tribal loyalty, we're not talking about national pride, we're talking about mercenaries.
I
So now you
think,
got to say, yo, did they take the bag? Did China supplement the bag? Did they realize, or here's my thought, did they realize that they're the most elite fighting force, but they don't have the weaponry and airplanes and everything else that Russia has? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like they can win the grunt war, but they still need that air support.
Right. And they didn't want Russia to turn the air support on them.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like a Mexican standoff, man. Like, look, too many of you are gonna go, too many of us are gonna go. Why don't we try to keep this underneath the rug? You know what I'm saying? Sweep this under the rug and shit.
And somebody else said something else. And they were talking about Putin. They said Putin has been in power for 23 years. And that's a long time to stay on top.
Dude, but they're homies. Like, they got pictures together. He was his personal chef for a minute. You know, oh boy, and Putin, the leader of the Wagner group. So it's just, you know what I mean? If anything, man, dude, it's just wild all the way around, bro. You know what I mean? And with all this money going over there, man, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be watching what goes on in Belarus though, because I think with them in Belarus, something's. Let me see something real quick. Since you're gonna be, I'm gonna jump on my phone real quick. I want to see Belarus map. I want to see something real quick.
Okay, well, you look that up. While you look that up,
Boom.
I want to know more about the chef. So while you look that up, let me find out about the chef turned military coup master.
Yep. Belarus is just north of Ukraine. That makes perfect fucking sense. And you got Latvia.
Of the Wagner Group. CBS's Ramy Inocencio takes a look at his evolution into becoming a powerful mercenary leader.
Really? That's how they gonna take away the story.
Hold on.
Yevgeny Viktorovich Prigozhin is a man unafraid of challenging Russia's leaders, especially after being close.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do a quick deep frag, because I don't want to make the screen smaller. Kind of like it like this.
Comrades with a then fresh-faced President Vladimir Putin 2 decades ago. Prigozhin had risen from criminal convict in the 1980s to hot dog seller in the 1990s to well-connected.
Wait. He went from inmate to hot dog seller, bro.
Bro, I told you, the old boy came up from the gutter, bro.
Started at the bottom, now we here. Oh, I gotta hear that again, bro.
80s to hot dog seller in the 1990s.
Hold on, bro. Like, give me a second. Let me refresh the screen. Let's see.
It's all good.
Yo, this is a fascinating man.
Who is the leader of the Wagner Group? CBS's Ramy Inocencio takes a look at his evolution into becoming a powerful mercenary leader.
Yevgeny Viktorovich Prigozhin is a man unafraid of challenging Russia's leaders, especially after being close comrades with a then fresh-faced President Vladimir Putin 2 decades ago. Prigozhin had risen from criminal convict in the 1980s to hot dog seller in the 1990s to well-connected Kremlin caterer in the 2000s, earning the nickname Putin's chef and even serving then Prince Charles and President George W. Bush. Now, at 62, Prigozhin has turned into a lord of war. He is chief executive
Did
of
they call him a Lord of War?
Ah, ah, ah. Told you he's from Chicago. No.
He is a tribal warlord, man. Shout out to tribal warlords all around the world, man. Shout out to tribal warlords.
Oh shit.
Both for dirty folks, man. Anyway,
shadowy Wagner mercenary group, which he founded and financed in 2014 to help Russia annex Crimea. He said he commands as many as 50,000 soldiers for hire in the best of times. But these are not those times. The loss of many professional Wagner soldiers in Ukraine pushed Prigozhin to recruit from Russia's prisons inexperienced inmates, offering pardons if they survive 6 months. Most have not.
damn.
And Prigozhin has revealed about 20,000 have died in the so-called meat grinder of Bakhmut. In nearly 11 months, the war's longest, bloodiest battle.
Yep.
He pulled out in May and lashed out at Russia's military leaders for failing to supply enough ammunition, pointing to what he says are Wagner corpses in the dark. Prigozhin remains the biggest threat to Putin since he became president in 2000, when the two weren't just business partners, but also close friends. Ramy Inocencio, CBS News, London.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I said, man, it's a wild dynamic right now, man. Real wild
Yo,
dynamic.
what if a former felon became the president of the of Russia?
Damn. Anything's fucking possible nowadays.
I mean, it happened for Hitler.
Dude, you know, it just like I said, bro. I when I saw that dude's story, the way that they first put it, like, oh yeah, it's an insurrection, woo, woo, with their troops. I'm like, okay, well, what sense of this, man? And then when I started digging deeper, I'm like, this is Russia's version of fucking Blackwater, you know, except they can't control these fools, So now, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, hell, like I said, when I look at it, I see that Belarus is just north of Ukraine, you know, and it opens up all the way through that eastern bloc. So either this is a big, big scam to have them right out that way, or they're gonna do like normal communists and socialists do. They're gonna use them for what they're worth, and then line them up against the wall, bro.
Okay, let me see. See if I can pull out a little bit. I got a map of Ukraine. So here's Ukraine right here. Here's Belarus.
Yep.
Ukraine to Belarus is probably like, it looked like maybe Chicago to Detroit.
Mm-hmm. It's just north.
It's just south. It's south. This
No,
Belarus.
that's north. That's north.
No, Belarus is north of Ukraine.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
you're right. I'm doing it backwards. You're right. Belarus is just northwest of Ukraine.
So now if you look at that on like a strategic level, right? You'd have people invading from the north and from the east.
Which would push Ukraine to ask for help from NATO countries
Yep.
like Austria.
Yep.
Is Hungary part of NATO?
I don't think so, but I know Poland is.
Poland definitely is. But if
You
they're in
know,
Belarus,
and then
then
they've got
well, Ukraine is
Lithuania.
connected to Poland
You
from
got
that.
Lithuania above there. You know what I mean? And these are all Soviet. Anything past, I mean, shit, even Poland. All this used to be former USSR.
USSR, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So like I said, man, this can get wild real quick if them boys get up there. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so apparently, because Poland is part of NATO.
Hold on. Let me see right now. I'll look it up.
The
Current
entire,
NATO countries. Boom. All right. So,
I'll look it up.
hold on. All right. So, now, because I wanted to look at that map too,
I got you.
because we got Estonia. Estonia's right by there. You got Czechia, which should be
Apparently,
right
this is
there.
a common question: is Poland in NATO following the dissolution? Yes, Poland is a member of NATO.
Yep.
It's been a partner since 1996 and full member since 1999.
But now,
Oh,
if you look at all those names, right? Check it out. Once they're in Belarus, okay. Once they're in Belarus, Lithuania, they're a NATO nation, right? Uh, Latvia, they're a NATO nation. Poland, they're a NATO nation. You see where this is going?
right. Because their whole thing is they don't want to be attacked by Germany and let Germany get a free ride through Poland. But they can't stop Poland because Poland's NATO. And that's why they're trying to stop the Ukraine from joining NATO because those countries are kind of encroaching on the USSR.
Exactly. Everything north of Belarus is NATO. To the east of Belarus or to the west of Belarus is NATO. You know what I mean?
Right. And
That's
Moscow
their
is
only
right
buffer
there.
zone. That's their only buffer zone.
Right.
So you don't
So
think if those mercenaries are right there, if you ever played Risk, right now they've got neighboring. They're working on the continent.
and you have to understand that the United States did no different. That's why they had the Bay of Pigs trying to stop Cuba from becoming a communist nation to watch their flank.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this is a little different, man, because especially if that group is, let's say, they've already been known to, let's say, pick up guys off the street and put them into their militia, right? There's a lot of Russian sympathizers inside of Belarus. You don't think they're gonna pick up a couple thousand?
You know what, man? This is fascinating. Let's wrap this up. It's
All
about
right,
that time, and we'll continue. We'll keep our eye on this and other current events, man, and see what's popping.
that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Well, shit, as always, man. It's always good chopping it up with you, Oak.
Man, always, man, always. Make sure y'all like and sub, man, to the Spotify, the iPad, the iTunes, the YouTube, the Rumble. We gonna make it pop, man. We gonna
Get the
keep,
Rumble numbers up, baby.
yeah, man. Anyway, man, always a pleasure, man. Loke and Oak with y'all news, man. We out. Peace.
Peace.